So let's look at what I have marked on the docket. I think I am a bit tired. So we have 2 sets from Boomerang, one versus JeroXaS and one versus Pinion. We'll do both of those, and I won't do the third one that I was gonna do. So yeah. Let's see here. Dulcis. They should all be on here. Yes, we have, I'm just looking at, oh no, I'm showing you guys the results. I'm a terrible streamer. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, he didn't ask for the Kindred review to be shown. I got it so good last time too. I knew that I wasn't supposed to be showing you the results. But yeah. Hopefully you didn't get that in your mind, because it'd be more fun that way. We'll start with Boomerang versus JeroXaS. There we go. Okay. Looking at JeroXaS' box, we see Bernhardt. And yeah, I don't have to say that. We're pretty much going to see Bernhardt in every box now. Forever. What is interesting is the Yulia and the Shelfenil. You don't see them too much. Yulia used to be really popular, but in debuff meta and AoE, if there's a lot of AoE around, it's hard for her to do stuff. It's hard for her to reach the opponent. She needs a lot of stuff to get banned versus your typical debuff box. And Shelf is a slower sort of win condition. She can AoE you constantly, she can strip a lot of buffs, but her problem is similar. Against a lot of debuff, her frailty really works against her, and there's so many things like Mariel that can just kill her. So you need to enable... You need to kill off a lot of threats for both these units to work. Usually you won't get them together because people, if they are fighting Yulia, will try to prevent getting her a buff, although Elwyn is in this box, so it's more important usually to ban him. He gives her a better faction buff, and he's usually just harder to deal with with regards to knocking off your tank's guard, maybe putting up heal block. On Boomerang's side, very standard box. Kruger, Himiko, no Bozel, Buttry. Just fine. Ares is here to capitalize on AoE damage. TSDL is here to enable teleport plays, and we have Illustrial as the assassin. Just fine. Illustrial is frail. She is a bit map dependent. She's might be a unit you want to bring out when you see particular maps or when you're choosing a map. Like, you can pick a really good map for her. This is... I don't know who picked the map, but this is a pretty mediocre map for her. There's not a lot of grassland. There's a bit of terrain around the sides of the map, and it does have and there is grassland in each of these 4 corners right here. So if you're pushing into the center, usually there's an angle for her to find, but terrain's just a little bit limited for her. So yeah, let's see how the ban pick went. First off, we see first ban TSDL in this box with no Landius. We see 2 tank, right? 3 if you want to count Bernhardt versus physical, which is facilitated by this TSDL ban. Then if you don't know what your opponent's gonna ban, like when you're second player you don't, because you ban first. One moment. Good enough. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. When you don't know what your opponent is going to first ban, maybe they ban your Hilda, then you have to play with dog versus mages. Usually people won't pick a mage like TSDL first, And there are limited amounts of mages in this box. Like you could just ban Delete Yulia next, and then you're safe to pick Burn if you want to pick, say, a healer. And okay, Juggler gets first ban. So now you don't necessarily need to go the mage ban route. That's fine. Probably Hilda first pick from both sides. Florentia gets banned. Also fine. Act again. Hilda's up. It is one player Hilda. You might not have to consider banning Florentia so heavily. And there is a fair amount of debuff in Boomerang's box, right? So Rosin, it's probably what you're gonna see from JeroXaS. Then you can leave up Bernhardt, Himiko, Reen, and Kruger. Rosin can reasonably handle 2 debuffers. Like 2 big debuffers. Kruger, not necessarily. Well, yeah, no, Kruger is a big debuffer. His skills don't deal a lot of debuffs, but Evil does. And Evil burns Rosin stacks very quickly. One thing to be said, though, is that first player, if they put up Rosin stacks immediately, then Kruger can't put the Evil debuff on anybody. So first player Rosin is at an advantage versus second player Kruger. It's definitely something to consider. And yeah, standard first pick Hilda. First ban, or second ban Rosin, second ban Ares. If you're gonna pick Rosin, like I think JeroXaS is going to, you can probably afford to leave Ares up a little bit later. Ares is a lot of raw damage, but when you have Mass Crystal healing in between the hits, then there's not a lot that he can snipe. What is he thinking with Ares first ban? There's Yulia that could be susceptible. There's Shelf. If Ares crits her, he can still kill her. As no damage mods in this box, right? So you might not have to worry about that too much. Licorice, she can be built bulky, but it's also going to be a crit matchup, especially if you don't have a Bracer Licorice. Yeah. Second pick Rosin. You could probably afford to leave the Ares up. What is the next most threatening thing knowing that you have a Rosin seal? TSDL is not a big deal. The reason is that you have Hilda. It's a risky matchup for TSDL. She can enable other plays though. Odious isn't going to be a big deal. Elwyn you can tank, but you could still ban him just to remove the chance of your guard getting dispelled and other stuff getting sniped. But I think right now, probably the biggest threat is this Bernhardt. He can really punch the crap out of your tank and just do a lot of damage. So yeah, maybe leave Ares up. Ban Burn. That, or yeah, you could. I wouldn't fault banning Lusty too much, especially if it was the right map. And maybe even Himiko, because her buff stealing can be really annoying. But no, it's okay. Burn, maybe Lusty, maybe Elwyn. So Yulia gets banned. Yeah, no. Normally I would say a debuff box doesn't have to ban Yulia that hard. But you gave them Rosin Seal. And I don't think I iterated enough on how difficult it should be for a box with this many debuffs to fight a Rosin Seal. You should ban it. You should really ban it. Yeah. Banning Yulia is fine in this situation though, because you didn't. You don't really have a good way to kill her or stop her. So yeah. Ares, he's a threat to Himiko. He can be a threat to these squishy mages over here, Kruger and TSDL. He can be a threat to Illustrial if he crits. If your Florentia is not built for it, can be a threat to her. It's fine. You don't have Rosin, you don't have Juggler, you don't have many ways to stop the AoE combo. Florentia getting picked. There's not a lot of debuff in this box. That's fine. Yeah. Liana could bring Mass Protect versus this Bernhardt, which would be useful. She'd do a bit better against this Licorice. Especially if you're not a Bracer Florentia, because then you can't prevent silence without bringing mass attack, and then if you do that, you don't have strategic regroup. Yeah, banning Mariel. She can threaten. If you don't have good infantry, then she can definitely threaten Deedlit and Liana. And Shelf Licorice. Yeah, so threatens quite a lot of units in your box. That's fine. Kruger, I mentioned this earlier. If you're first player and you get Rosin, you don't have to ban Kruger. Just move Rosin first, put up Mass Crystal Healing, cut out his evil debuff, and then you'll be just fine. And Bernhardt, yeah. Bernhardt's gonna chew through this tank pretty well. There's limited debuff removal, so Sword Dance could be a good combo. And there's 3 good AoEs to pick with it. Licorice, Shelf, or Dog. Dog maybe is probably the lowest output out of that, but he's still good. He can still work with the Sword Dance heal block, especially as one player with turn priority, and even potentially act again. And yeah, we see both the AoEs get banned, you're removing AoE combo, and now in this situation, you don't necessarily have to go AoE with Dog. You can bring Hegemony, and you can just go for punching the tank. That will work well with Elwyn. Less so Deedlit, because she has a pretty bad matchup against Hilda. Hilda just really needs to bring Templar Knights, and then Deedlit cannot do that much to Hilda. And you could go for Dog Lockdown. If you lock down your dog with your Hilda in range, then Hilda can't push Dog off, and there's not another tank to pick. So a couple routes. Elwyn. There are 3 good single targets between Illustrial, Tejas, and Bernhardt. Hilda can't just play in plus formation forever. At some point she has to move. She can bring double guard, which is viable since there are not a lot of Tensei units. There are none actually. So yeah, it's okay. He's not going to do that much damage to Hilda. He's likely not going to heal block her. It's pretty much just fishing for the guard to spell, and Hilda can bring something to counter it. Not a strong win condition. Burn would be a lot better. Yeah, Burn gets banned and Tejas gets banned. It's banning the single target follow-up. Himiko and Reen just being left up, just fine for Rosin Seal to deal with. You got Lusty. So that's probably the pick. And going for the dog lockdown route with Hilda, solid win condition. Because this team so far, and even after what you pick, will not have a good way. I guess picking Dog and Elwyn is a bit more risky. But Dog could definitely take a hit. Or 2. With Rosin, particularly. It does somewhat depend on water getting dispelled, but there's a couple water tiles for you to use in this map. If you use guard priority properly, then you can slow push safely without ever having Dog in guard range of anything. Or you can even just jump into the center, right, in the water tiles. So there's avenues for play. And we're going to see Liana here. Landius is not going to do anything. Banning Elwyn and Deedlit. It's pretty much just a DPS left at this point. That's fine. And yeah, Illustrial. Combos with the Elwyn Glory buff. Limited tiles, but it's okay. She gets 3C up. She can guard ignore anywhere after that. Or maybe you dispel guard anyway. There's opportunities. And yeah, picking Liana. Lannis is not going to do as much. Act again. Lanius can block for people. It's kind of whatever. And JeroXaS missed around a bands. That's okay. It happens. Himiko would... I wouldn't fault banning Himiko here. The other thing that I would most definitely ban is that Liana. Giving player 2 act agains can be pretty devastating. You could end up losing your Hilda somehow that way. Yeah, I would ban, and plus you want to limit heals too. Bernhardt could even still... Sword Dance is still kind of meh, but there's probably a combo to be had with Sword Dance Dog and Act Again on this Celestial and this Himiko. Because Florentia can't act again herself, and her AoE heals are limited. So yeah, let's get into it. First we look at skills. Sword Dance, like I said, it's okay. Beast Shock. I think against this team, bringing Master of Ice is fine. If you're going to bring Sword Dance on Burn. If you were going to bring Hegemony on Burn, then you could bring Beast Shock. Yeah, so probably bring Master of Ice. This skill set, limited debuffs, just fine. You could probably make an argument for bringing 3C over Mass Crystal Healing. You use it after you burn Miracle to engage with, or after an engage. And that way Illustrial will never be able to kill your Rosin. But it's okay. This skill set on Liana, that's fine. War Goddess, it's alright. What it does do... Right, how does... Yeah. This lasts 1 turn. The debuff immunity lasts 2 turns. It's probably never gonna hit Errant Knight on Elwyn. Emerald Crusher. Tight. I'd probably rather bring neutralizing fire, because then after 3C you have a chance to snipe these maiden. You have a better chance to snipe these maiden healers. So yeah. And everything else looks pretty standard. Here, even though there is that Hilda Dog combo I mentioned, you still probably want to bring Ram, just in case they play it so you can push the dog off, because this is your only tank. And Burn can do some serious single target damage. Like, he can definitely kill this Celestial, he can definitely kill this Florentia. So yeah. It's pretty much just normal moves so far. I am curious though. Yeah, I did mention Hilda can bring double guard against Elwyn. The thing about bringing Tensei buff, it is for Rosin, but Hilda's buffs are just gonna get mostly dispelled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's Sage Hat, so yeah, 9 buffs. 5 out of 9 that your guard gets dispelled with buff. It doesn't really help your survivability, because good chance that the survivability stuff gets removed anyway. And plus you had a Bernhardt bringing his buff for Hilda. So double guard here, I like it. Gospel Dog, pretty normal. That's to improve dog's damage. So yeah. I'm not sure of Lusty's kill range with, say, Bone Dino. It would be very predicated on whether or not you can 2-tick these werewolves within 20 ticks. I think with Bone Dinos, Illustrial attacks first. So Illustrial would have to do that, and it's probably possible. But it is a good Lusty. Let's see if it's Rough Seas. Yeah, it's rough seas, so. But yeah, with Wolf Riders, not gonna happen. Definitely not. So, on the other hand, this Rosin, maybe not with Wolf Riders, but I know with Gargoyles, this Rosin would definitely be snipeable. So JeroXaS has made a bit of a positioning mistake, letting less. Oh wait, is this a Tenyos? Yeah, no. That's okay. You can't play like you're accounting for Tenyos mobility buff all the time. You just can't. So yeah, Boomerang should have killed the Rosin here, rather than try to kill the burn. That would enable Himiko to do her nonsense eventually. You have to burn through these pretty fast. The clock. Yeah, as you can see, even with almost no troops, burn just easily takes care of that Illustrial. And Hilda should be in guard range. Oh wait, she didn't guard first turn. Okay, so that's a bit of a mistake. You don't have to kill that Illustrial then. Just guard with Hilda, then kill the Illustrial. You'll have turn priority. You're player 1, so if guard gets dispelled after that, then you just move burn right over here, and then you can move Liana there. Nice safe plus formation. No problem. A dog could get hit. Dog does have a fair amount of debuffs, like that's like 9 buffs. Yeah. But yeah. Just guard with Hook first. Jump to lock down the Elwyn. You could hit him with Hilda first. And yeah, there's the Florentia heal anyway. It basically does nothing. Elwyn won't get any heals, but he got more or less full heals from the Florentia, and now Hilda can just walk in and guard. You take a life, but for what cost? Oh yeah, never mind. No cost. Elwyn just dives to Hilda. This tells me I should stop after this game. Yeah, Himiko's just not going to do anything to Rosin here. I really feel that Boomerang's problem was in ban pick. This could be even more devastating for Boomerang's side. Like, Bernhardt could be up punching your tank every turn, or putting on a sword dance and then AoE comboing with the dog. Himiko stole guard. But at this point, there's not a strong win condition for either player. But if it becomes a center fight, Boomerang does actually have more damage. And the Plunder, interesting choice. You have Hilda. You could bring Sealing Technique instead, but that's likely not going to work. Dogs usually Bracer. And it is annoying for Dog. Thank you for raiding me, Ro. Is this gonna become like a turn 12 game where neither of them can kill each other and then Boomerang wins off of damage? Alright, this is just gonna be a lot of punching. Let's go faster. What does Himiko do here though? Because she's the one that matters, yeah. She just refreshes hot, hot, hot. Blocks it, because why not? happened there? Nothing. Oh, hot, hot, hot is dealing damage. Could maybe consider moving out of it, but I don't think you see the damage counter by now, so. Oh man, this game is sad. Yeah, it's just Himiko doing her friggin' thing. There is Beast Shock, but with Hilda, Rosin, and Liana. So, when you're playing 2 healer and 2 tank, you have 1 DPS. You can consider Dog a pseudo DPS. You absolutely cannot lose your DPS. If you have B-Shock in this game, then there is plenty of opportunity between Act Again and Bernhardt moving, and then Hilda getting locked down to just snipe this Himiko, and then probably even snipe the Florentia next turn, and then it's just over. But once Burn died, yeah, you can try to block out the Himiko here, but Boomerang has turn priority, so he would just take that tile. Oh, but so yeah, don't move out of the center when you are potentially going to win on damage. It's really greedy. Yeah. This was like the only way Jero could win at this point. And Jero needs to be occupying this tile. Yeah. And yeah, Himiko just dies on the turn. Guard is down anyway. There's... let's go back a couple turns before we get into the center, right? Okay, let's... Yeah. Don't move Himiko here. Move your Hilda here. That way, when you do occupy the rest of the center, you can put your DPS here, and you can put your healer here, or vice versa, you know. That way, guard never matters. When your guard is down, it never matters. Other than that, don't move out of the center here. But I guess the question is, can Jero kill him? Good lord. Yeah. I go back to all my previous advice. Don't lose your 1 DPS. There were a lot of positional mistakes. I think I covered them. Okay. Let's watch game 2. This looks like no box changes from either players. First ban, Ares. Ares is really good on this map. We're pretty much taking the exact same ban pick routes. Kruger probably not the highest priority. Well, you are player 2 Rosin. So yeah, I can see why you don't want your Rosin to get overwhelmed here. Just keep in mind, player 1 can definitely destroy player 2 Kruger. Illustrial third on this map. There is grass in the center, but her mobility is extremely limited. She can only move 5 blocks, maybe 7 if you have breeze. Not a very strong win condition. And usually with third pick, you want to be picking somebody strong that can carry the game. I still don't agree with leaving Rosin Seal up when you're playing a debuff comp. There's just too much debuff in this box that Rosin can shut down. Yeah, burn and Himiko, that's fine. Burn third, it's fine. Yeah, burn's pretty. You know the Celestial can't kill him. He's a good. He punches Hilda really hard, and yeah, Yulia definitely gets banned in TSDL, so the single target combo does get removed. It's like these two boxes are destined to stall hard against each other. Yeah, those bans are fine. Reen's, well, it's player 1 Liana. I can understand leaving her up, and you just ban Reen because he can hit really hard despite Rosin, and you ban Ellen because he's annoying. And also buffing TSDL. That's fine. I really have no problem with these bans. Liana, I get that there's not a lot of great picks left. I'd still rather have Dog, for sure. But this ban pick is going towards a race towards the center again. But I would still rather have Dog. There's definitely opportunities to have with Bernhardt and then Hilda preventing Dog getting knocked off. But then you'd have to ban TSDL if you want to go that strat. Probably instead of Himiko? Yeah. Leave up Himiko. She's fine to fight. No problem. Delit, Ellen, last bans usually make a lot of sense, and Jero's gonna get Dog again. Yeah. So again, it's 2 healer, 2 tank with burn, but it's okay. If you can just, well, less so because TSDL can always just teleport Hilda off of. She can always just teleport Hilda into some other position, so B-Shock isn't going to be able to stick. Also against TSDL, with Dog, you might want to consider bringing Lobsters because she can really rip through werewolves. Depends on the TSDL and her buff status, which in this case she's probably going to be running with Gospel. I would say usually you want to move the person you're gospeling first. That way you're maximizing gospel timer. Because it is limited, and if you move the person first and then put on Gospel with Teddy, Gospel has 100% uptime. And yeah, I mean, Lusty's just going back anyway. You could even save the gospel, but there's no point if it has 100% uptime. Well, I guess there is. Yeah, you could save the gospel for like turn 2. That's fine. Yeah, this is the setter fight. Wow. Okay, yeah, that's a miracle. Hilda just dies there. As I said, it is a bit on the weaker end of a Hilda, but yeah, burn does some pretty crazy damage, single target wise. It's just not to be reckoned with. Was Act Again used? Don't mind me. No, I don't think Act Again was used. Maybe on round 1. Nope. I think it's okay to use Act Again there. The thing about Act Again is, if you can get a kill off of it, it's just fine to use it. Yeah, we were on round 4. Oh no, spoilers. Yeah, let's see. Is this... Okay. I see. Illustrial got a Tenyos. Normally, she wouldn't be able to reach here. But now she can. Yeah, that does 6,000 and then another 3,000. I guess you do have Miracle, but Illustrial has a lot of damage up. The Tenyos really changed things. Normally you could just Act Again somebody. Well, no. Okay. You could just Act Again burn. He will be healed enough, more than likely. Then Rosin can heal him after that. Illustrial's definitely shooting from here. I think Act Again. That should get him pretty close to 100%. Yeah, it's Twilight Star. That's always going to be a pretty easy kill. You could say Dog should probably be... Dog should have been right here. That way Hilda was blocking him. Yeah. Turning into a Cav, I don't see why. You should probably just turn into a green troop because Hilda's more than likely going to stay green and she's running Molders. There is no infantry, so Cav chain doesn't do anything. I mean, this is a good sword dance, but now that Dog's dead, there's no longer any AoE combo. Celestial does not have a buff. Yeah. Need a buff to do that. But Celestial can probably just kill next turn. I do, yeah, Florentia is out of range. We saw this kill. Does Burn not have a buff? You do. I think I'd try it. I guess she did get a 10 Yo's damage reduction. Good lord. I understand not trying it. Just go for the longer play. You still have a tank. You know you can probably get through this Hilda. On the next turn you have Miracle up. JeroXaS runs away. I think that game wasn't lost yet. But I can see why. Florentia's coming in, she's going to act again. But I think at some point Burn can get through Hilda. And then after that, Burn can probably wreck the rest of the team. It's really a matter of the Illustrial. And I actually am very tired. I hope that review was good enough. Or, I hope it was good. I don't hope it was good enough. Holy shit. Thank you guys for watching my stream. I will be back later, actually. I'm gonna go, like, try to take a nap or something. You guys have a good day. I'll see you later. Bye.